Folks, what is going on? Wednesday, June the 2nd, 2021. How we doing? Happy Hump Day. Hope y'all are all doing well. I'm Chris Phillips, of course, the Daily Crow, as always, taking your questions, comments, and calls as well. 843-790-3377, guys. If you want to call and or text that number, you are welcome to do so. Again, guys, I got a lot to get into. Football, baseball, maybe a little bit of football. Well, I just said football, duh. I said maybe a little bit of basketball. Who knows? It's all on the docket today. Guys, before we're getting everything, though, I want to tell you my friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm, because the Daily Crow is presented to you by our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Guys, young but experienced and aggressive attorneys. They're both former prosecutors who used to represent insurance companies but switching sides. Guys, again, they both worked at larger law firms where they've represented hundreds of clients at a time, and they left to start their own law firm, guys, because they understand you're not just a line item. You're not just a number. You're a real human being with real problems. Again, they're a small boutique law firm that treats their clients like family. They're going to know who you are and treat you like a client and not a number. Like I mentioned, guys, they handle injury cases that arise from car accidents and work accidents. Do not try to take on the insurance company yourself. Guys, when you've been in an accident, the last thing you need to be worrying about is all the paperwork and the stress and everything with dealing with the insurance company. Let the experts handle it for you, guys. They use the latest technology to make representation efficient and effective. And get this, you don't pay them unless they recover money for you, guys, so you have nothing to lose. Rami's in Columbia. Curtis is in Charleston. They handle cases statewide. They also offer virtual or in-person consultations at no charge. Guys, give them a call today. Columbia location, 803-973-0304, or in Somerville, 843-388-3368. Or, of course, guys, your one-stop shop, their website, dsinjurylaw.com. That is dsinjurylaw.com for more information. Guys, again, that's our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Guys, what's going on? 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, comments, calls, everything else here on a Wednesday. Happy Hump Day, folks. Hope you're doing well. Really excited, really fired up to chat with you guys here on a Wednesday because, yes, as Brendan M. just pointed out, it was just announced. Brett Carey will be getting this guy. He will be getting the baseball on Friday against the Virginia Cavaliers. Again, I don't think many of us are surprised, but feels good to have that announcement officially come out. So it will be Brett Carey going up against, I would assume, Andrew Abbott from Virginia, their ace. Going to set up for one hell of a game one in the Columbia Regional. Excuse me, guys. Let's see. Phil Harris, Brendan, Leonard Matthews, Sean O'Brien, Keith. What's going on, y'all? How you doing? Keith says it's nice and cool in Charlotte today. Brendan, yeah, I feel good about our chances with Brett Carey, too. And listen, you had to go with Brett Carey. You had to go with Brett Carey. The way he's thrown the ball, I think right now he definitely gives you the best chance to win. So I'm not surprised at all they went with Brett Carey. Again, he's your hot hand right now, man. He's your hot hand, and you got to go with that guy. So, you know, it's all about in the postseason who gets hot and who kind of rides that wave. And Brett Carey is certainly that guy right now. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. A quick reminder, by the way, if you have not participated, please do so. We are picking a winner tonight at 7 o'clock for the booklets for the Columbia Regional. We are picking the winner that we're going to give away a pair of tickets, a pair of booklets for the Columbia Regional. That'll be at 7 o'clock tonight. Those contests are on Instagram and Facebook. So if you have not done so, the rules are very simple. The rules are listed on both of those posts. It's as simple as liking the post, tagging 3 friends, and you have to like and or follow Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. You have to. If you don't, you will not get picked. I don't know how many times I can say that, but if you're not following them, if you don't like their page, if you're on Facebook, you have to. You absolutely have to. I want to make that very clear. So again, guys, yeah, really excited to give away those booklets. Appreciate my guys over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm for making that a possibility. Really, really excited to get a couple of rowdy roosters out to the ballpark this weekend. Also, quick reminder, live show tomorrow night, teaming up with my good friend Jeff, a.k.a. Cox by 90. We'll be going live tomorrow night from Halls in downtown Columbia, across the street from the State House. So if you guys want to stop by, we will be live from 7 to 8. We'll be hanging out at Halls after that all night, really, be honest with you. So If you guys do want to stop by, going to be a great night, going to be a great time with a couple of Gamecocks, just talking Gamecocks baseball, kind of getting primed for the weekend. We might even touch on some football stuff. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. But also, if you can't be there, we're going to stream it here. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch as normal. We'll take you guys' questions in the chat as well. So, again, really excited. Appreciate Jeff. Appreciate Cox by 90 asking me to come out and do that with him. Going to be a really, really good time, and I'm really, really excited about that. So, again, 7 o'clock tomorrow night from Halls in downtown Columbia, right off Main Street, right across the street from the State House. If you're in the local area and want to come out and talk some Gamecocks and get ready for the weekend. So really excited for that. Jay Sun says that pic posted about the new unis yesterday. Get familiar with the recruit that just happened to be in town yesterday, a freshman that already has offers from all major schools, including Alabama. Yeah, no, definitely excited. I'm excited for what Shane Beamer's doing. I think recruiting, you're going to see momentum start to pick up. You're going to see some commits start to fall over the next few weeks for sure with on-campus recruiting and all that jazz opening back up. Brian Dean, I think we take the aggressive approach and swing at the first pitch. You know, that, Brian, it's interesting because it's so funny that, you know, when you're swinging at the first pitch and you're making early outs, fans dislike it. When you are, you know, taking a bunch of pitches and you're making outs, fans say, oh, be more aggressive. So, I mean, here's the thing. I don't care if every hitter swings at the first pitch. But if you swing at the first pitch, it better be your pitch. All right? That's the big thing. I like being aggressive early in the count because, hey, I can tell you this. As a former pitcher, as somebody who battled against hitters, I'm trying to get ahead in the count. I'm trying to throw you a fastball. I'm trying to locate it, obviously. But that early pitch, that first strike is probably the best one you're going to see. So I like, and as you know, again, I wasn't some professional hitter, but, you know, obviously I was a damn pitcher. But when I played and did hit, I mean, I probably saw on average 3 pitches in an at-bat. Like, I liked to, you know, get after that pitcher early. Because once you, hey, at this level of baseball, man, and the same thing can apply to this guy we're facing on Friday from Virginia. You get to 2 strikes, good luck. You know what I mean? Good luck. A guy like that, as good as he is, he's going to finish you off. He's going to throw his nasty shit, and you're going to be down and out. So I like being aggressive early in the count, but here's the key to that. Not just aggressive in the zone early in the count. Being aggressive in the zone, period. Being a disciplined hitter. Don't just go up there flailing at whatever, because then you're just helping the pitcher out. And the guy you're facing Friday, he needs no help. He needs no help. He's one of the best in the entire country. Mark Kingston said it yesterday. He's a guy who could start on any staff in this league, in the SEC, I should say. So, really, really good pitcher. We're going to have our work cut out for us. What's interesting, and, you know, we're going to break down Virginia and the game, and I'm going to give my predictions and all that good stuff on tomorrow's show. But what's interesting about this, guys, is South Carolina and Virginia, to me, are very similar teams in the sense that both rely on a really good starting rotation and really deep bullpens, power arms. But at the plate, they struggle. I think I read something. South Carolina is 154th in college baseball in scoring. Virginia is 155th. So these teams are very similar in the way they've won ball games this year. The question is just who's going to swing it better? Who's going to have a better day at the plate? Jaden Harris, yes, Virginia has a very, very, very good bullpen. Yes. Yes, they do. So I don't know if you might not have seen it. Maybe I should have reposted it. But the NCAA website, NCAA baseball, whatever, they actually posted a Columbia regional preview where they went through. Let's see if I can find it. Oh. Where? Let me see. I guess I could just. Oh, here we go. Here's their Twitter. Let's go to. They did here. I'll read this off to you guys if you like. I figure you probably would. I'll just read some of the highlights really quickly. So, Columbia Regional Superlatives. Most exciting player, Zach Geloff, third baseman from Virginia. Best hitter, Kyle Battle, the outfielder from Old Dominion, which I mean, dude, overall hitter, probably the best. I know we'd probably say Wes Clark, but guy's got 18 homers, kind of does a little bit of everything. Best defensive player, Tommy Bell, shortstop, Old Dominion. Best pitcher, Brett Carey. Best pitcher of the regional, Brett Carey. They say this about Carey. Carey was a dominant closer for most of the season, but moved into the rotation the final 2 weeks of the regular season, throwing a 4-hit shutout at Kentucky and then 7 strong innings in a win against Kentucky. However, the Gamecocks use him. He's a weapon with a 92 to 95 mile-an-hour fastball and 3 swing and miss secondary pitches led by a vicious slider and cutter combination, along with premium pitchability and competitiveness. He gets the nod by a hair over Virginia's Andrew Abbott and ODU's Hunter Gregory. They also say the X factor of the Columbia Regional is Wes Clark, DH from South Carolina. They say this about Wes: when Clark is hot, he is capable of putting the Gamecocks on his back and carrying them for stretches, as he did early right out of the chute with 8 homers in his first 6 games, and again in late March with 5 homers in a 7-game stretch. After going homerless for about a month in April, Clark heated up again in May, hitting 7 more to give him 22 on the year. His right-handed power is a game changer if he can stay locked in. Now, you ask about the pitching side of things, right, and the bullpen and stuff like that. Here's what they say about Virginia. The best starting rotation in the regional, they say Virginia. Here's what they say. South Carolina's once formidable rotation has slumped down the stretch, but Virginia's has only gotten stronger. Left-hander Andrew Abbott and righty Mike Vasile form a power-armed and experienced 1-2 punch, and emerging fireballer Zach Messenger or high-profile lefty Nate Savino give the Cavaliers 2 more good starting options behind them. Now, best bullpen, they say, is also Virginia. They say the top 3 seeds all have deep, versatile experiences and plenty of power arms, but the Cavaliers have the best group of the bunch, particularly with Carey likely to start for South Carolina. Preseason All-American Steven Scotch, 2.7 ERA with 7 saves, is a beast at the back end for Virginia, with Twin Towers, Blake Bales, and Kyle Witten serving as hard-throwing setup guys without pitch sliders, and Brandon Neek working as the go-to lefty. Messenger and Matt Wyatt can also light up the radar guns out of the bullpen. So there you go. They feel pretty damn good about Virginia's pitching staff. They feel pretty damn good about it. Brian Dean says, I see a 1-0 or 2-0 Carolina win. You think we're going to shut them out? I'd take it. I'd love to see it. And you never know with Brett Carey. Just find. I think it will be a very low-scoring competitive game. I'm thinking something like 3-2, 4-3. The game's so offensive, man. It's going to be tough to, to win a game 1-0. But no, I think it'll be a low-scoring competitive game, no question. I do. Justin, what's up, TSUS gang? Ass kicking chicken hats, ass kicking chickens. I've got the hat on, I know. He says, I think Carey's going to have a game. He is due. Is Brett Carey really due, Justin? He's been kind of doing his damn thing all year long. I don't know if I'd call him due. I think he'll have a damn good game, though. I do think he'll have a good game. Austin Kane says, who wrote that? Aaron Fitt from D1Baseball.com. So, and I know you guys love to give D1Baseball.com hell. I mean, listen, I get it. It is what it is. Those guys do a good job. I mean, I take their word as like those guys know college baseball. They're not just saying stuff out of their ass just to say it. You know what I mean? So I know people give them some flack. And listen, I'm not saying they don't deserve it, but it is at least, if nothing, interesting intel. Interesting intel. So there you go. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. We do have a text here. We do have a text on the text line. It says, hey, Chris, are you happy with the decision of the Gamecocks on starting Brett Carey on Friday against Virginia? Yeah, I am. No, I'm very happy with it. I think that was the right move. Yeah, I'm happy with it overall. Yeah, I mean, listen, Brett Carey's the hot hand. He's been your best pitcher down the stretch. I think you had to go with him because it's absolutely pivotal to win that game 1. Pivotal. Absolutely pivotal. Phil says, daily weather report for New Hampshire, 81 and partly cloudy. Get this, Phil. Hell, it's the same weather here. Actually, get this, Phil. It is cooler right now in South Carolina than it is in New Hampshire. It is currently 76 degrees with a high of 80 degrees in Columbia. Just pure doo-doo weather all week long with this rain. But weather looks really good for the regional. High of 87 Friday, 88 Saturday, and 87 Sunday. And then 87 Monday if we needed it. Corey, if Carolina wins the game Friday, do they play the night game Saturday? Yes. If they win Friday, they will have the 7 o'clock first pitch on Saturday night, which is, fingers crossed, what's going to happen because Cox by 90 and I are working on putting together a tailgate if the Gamecocks have that Saturday night game. So let's keep fingers crossed that night game happens. Let's keep fingers crossed for sure. Kevin C. Shane Beamer's social media presence is a refreshing change from our last coach. Love the personality he brings to the job. Yeah, no, indeed. I mean, definitely. Beamer has won the honeymoon phase. He is. It is a welcome. It's a welcome change. Him being so interactive with fans and injecting positivity into social media every day. I mean, it's something the fan base needed for sure. And I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a Carolina fan that doesn't enjoy it themselves. Justin says, yeah, Carey's been lights out all year with them not getting to play a full season last year and hosting a regional. I think Carey's going to find something extra in the tank. Yeah, I mean, I think so too, man. I think you'll get a great outing out of Brett Carey. I have no doubts. Savannah Webster, first game Saturday is at noon. Yes, it is at noon. Yep. So the two losers from the games on Friday will play the noon game. So, and I'll just confirm that for you here. Yeah, Saturday at noon. That'll be game one of the elimination bracket. So this is the schedule. Friday and Saturday is exactly the same. There will be a noon game and a 7 o'clock game both days. On Sunday, that first game is also at noon. That first game is also at noon Sunday, and then the championship game will be Sunday at 6 p.m., and if there's a necessary Game 7, that one will actually be Monday at 7 p.m. So, I mean, hey, Savannah, you don't want the noon game? Win Friday. Bottom line, just win Friday. That's it. So, but yeah, if you lose that first game, you're kind of doomed for noon games the rest of the way out, which is, sucks. But hey, don't lose. Don't lose. There's a pretty easy solution. Just do not lose. So, again, guys, 843-790-3377. We got a text here. Hey, Chris, glad to see Carey start. Who do we go with to close if Carey doesn't pull another complete game? That's a great question. Do you go Sanders? Do you go Bosnick? Do you go Danny Lloyd? Do you go Peters? I mean, you got options. That's the good thing. It's tough to say. I think we'd probably go some combo of Bosnick and Sanders, honestly. Mm-hmm. I think we go some combo of those two guys. But, I mean, listen, guys, all options are on the table. I mean, all options are on the table. This is, to me, whatever. You go into the SEC tournament, no big deal if you lose, blah, blah, blah. You have to treat each and every single game like it is your last because it could be. You know what I mean? You got to treat every game like you've got to sell out to beat Virginia. I had people ask me, does Old Dominion throw their ace? They're playing Jacksonville. Do they save him? I think that's a really that's not the right approach to take in this. I don't think you save your ace because what happens if you lose? You know what I mean? So, no, I think you go all out to win that ball game you are playing at that particular time. So, Brandon Moore, Carey was a smart pick to close, to start. Close is hopefully Julian. Yeah, again, you got options. That's the beautiful thing. Matt Bruno, yes, Peters will be available. Yes, he will be available. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. Check out the podcast, by the way, dropped this morning, episode 456. Not only did we talk baseball, of course, breaking down the Jacksonville Dolphins, but the 2021 opponent preview series rolls on today. Today's breakdown, the Georgia Bulldogs. Breaking down Georgia, giving an overall overview on Georgia, their season, their team. I know we saw yesterday in the transfer portal, the rich just continue to get richer. And I also gave my overall outlook from the South Carolina side of things. And I would ask you guys, and I may put this and pose this question on social media, what do you all expect? Because that's Shane Beamer's SEC debut. What to expect? What to expect from Shane Beamer's SEC debut in a game where you're probably going to be at minimum, a 3-touchdown underdog. Going on the road, night game, between the hedges. We all believe South Carolina can pull a big upset and beat Georgia, and that's all fine and dandy. But realistically, what would you want to see? What would make you feel good coming out of that ball game? Outside of a win, obviously. Again, being realistic, you're going to be a huge underdog in that football game. So, Let's see. Joseph, I'm glad we get the first game on Friday. We get to set the tone for all the other teams. When the teams playing in the night game get to the ballpark, we will already be on our field. The guys should have a chip on their shoulder. I promise you they do, man. I know they're fired up. Eric Price, just want to say good luck to the guys. I'm not a baseball fan, but always a Gamecock. Eric, let's change that. Let's make you a baseball guy. Keith, we have to do stuff we have struggled with all year, situational hitting and win game one. That's a fact. That's a fact. But, hey, Brett Carey didn't start a game one all season, so maybe that'll be the difference. But you're right, Keith. You're right. I mean, it comes down to the postseason especially. These things are amplified. To win in the postseason, you need great pitching, you need master performances on the mound, and you need not just hitting, timely hitting, situational hitting, two-out hitting. There's going to be moments. There's going to be 5 or 6 moments in every game. It's going to determine the outcome of the ball game. Do you come through or do you not? That's what's amplified in the postseason. So, Kevin C., I think the leaders, Allen, Eister, Clark, are going to be so fired up to play a home regional. The bats will set the tone. This is why you come to Carolina baseball. I agree with you. I mean, I really do. You know, I look at this regional like, you know, I went on ESPN Upstate yesterday, shameless plug, but Mark Ryan asked me, you know, what would you set the betting odds at? Who's the favorite? I said, I think Carolina should be the favorite, man. You're at home, and this is so par for the course for Carolina baseball, bro. We host regionals, and we win them. That's it. That's it. I think we should be coming in with a ton of confidence. We should be coming in expecting to win the ball game. No questions asked. We should expect to win this regional. No doubt. So I'm very confident, man. I mean, this is like you said, this is why you come to Carolina to play in these games like this. This isn't like, oh, the nerves and no, bro. This is where we flourish. Carolina baseball, we have been here, done that many, many, many times. This is normal for us. You know what I mean? So I'm excited, man. I'm fine. And that's not taking your opponent lightly or anything, but I just think we should be rolling with a lot of confidence. Hey, Virginia will have a lot of confidence too. They won a national title. That's why I think, honestly, guys, if I had to say, and I will be picking a winner tomorrow's show, I will be picking a winner for the not just game one, but the regional as a whole. You guys will get my full predictions for this weekend, for the regional, on tomorrow's show. But I'll tell you right now, it's either going to be Carolina or Virginia that wins this thing. Bottom line. I think it's either going to be Carolina or Virginia. Because you know what? When you know, baseball, I understand it now. It's so offensive, right? It's all about offense, hitting 500-foot bombs. But in the postseason, if you can put this little guy right here, if you can put this pearl wherever you want it, if you can locate it, if you can move it, you can go up, you can go down, you can go out, you can go in. You can make it dance. You can pitch. The team with the dominant staff is going to win. Pitching wins in the postseason. It does. And my question with Old Dominion is this. Is their pitching going to translate? Is their pitching going to be good enough to get through this regional? Because they had a 4.4 ERA in the Conference USA. All due respect to Conference USA baseball, which was really good this year. All due respect to them. Is their pitching going to be able to hold up? And, hey, guess what? Have their hitters seen arms like South Carolina's and Virginia's? I don't know if they have. I don't know that they have. So, you know, pitching wins, man. Pitching wins. And, you know, the offense, definitely, I'll put a lot of pressure on the offense. We got to swing it well Friday. But you know what, man? In a game like this, in game one, sometimes, guys, when you're facing a guy like South Carolina's going to face, and, hey, from the Virginia side of things, too, when they're facing a guy like we're throwing in Brett Carey, sometimes your guy just has to outduel their guy. That bottom line. Sometimes your guys just got to outduel their guy. And Friday, I think, is going to be one of those games. Brett Carey, we're riding you. We're riding you. Get us a dub. Do what you got to do. Hey, you know what, Brett? We cannot lose if they don't score. That's it. We cannot lose if they don't score. Bottom line. So. Eric Price or Austin. Let's see first. Austin Kane says he wants to see the offense rolling. That's what he wants to see from the Georgia game. Eric Price, to your question about the Georgia game, it's hard to know what to expect. If Tater Tech beats up a few of the UGA starters, things could swing our way. I tell you, Eric, it would take a minor miracle for Carolina to win that football game. I mean, you know, I get you did it in 2019, but it would take a minor miracle. Let's just put it that way. Kevin C., any word on Khalil Malone for the weekend? Yes. Mark Kingston said last night he feels very optimistic that both of those guys will be in the lineup on Friday. So, Savannah Webster, that's my asteroid game. I don't know about y'all. Which game? What do you asteroid game? What do you mean? Jacob Rogers, even though we aren't technically hosting, it's at our park, and we should smoke them all, and I'm excited also. I hope you're right. Robbie Davis texts in. He says, what's up, Chris? I feel like we need to do something that we've struggled with the last several weeks of the season, and that is capitalizing whenever we get runners on the bags. Go Gamecocks, your friends, Robbie Davis. Robbie, appreciate you. I mean, yeah, again, situational hitting. You got to get those guys in. You're facing a guy like Andrew Abbott, who's as good as he is, and he's just like the guys we face in the SEC. You got to take advantage of those opportunities, man. Bottom line. Matt Bruno says Kingston is going to need a coach going forward. Cannot rely on free swinging, but getting runners in scoring position and putting players in the best position to win the ball game. I mean, Matt, I hear what you're saying. I don't think they weren't trying to do that all season long. I don't think Mark Kingston's just sitting back saying, oh, screw it. Just free swing away, and we lose, we lose. I mean, listen, Matt. These coaches know they're coaching for their job. Like, this is a performance-based business, right? You can't just lose every game and ho-hum, you'll keep your job. So for anybody to imply that coaches aren't doing everything in their power to win every single game is a little crazy. But I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I want to make that clear. Like, I promise you, they have tried to win every single game this season. Rodney S. says that's why he's picking Virginia. Why? Expand on that, Rodney. Why are you picking Virginia? John Gibbs says, I've said from day one, if our pitching can get us there, it's easier to hit when you're winning and your pitchers do their job. It can go the other way as well, but our pitching is far more superior than our hitting right now. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. Keith, if we cover the spread against Georgia, I will be happy. Honestly, and I'm just projecting what the spread will be. But I think, honestly, guys, and, I hate that I don't want to spoil my predictions early, like I said. That's a game, though, if you lose that game by 17 or less, I think you feel really comfortable where you are. You feel confident, honestly, about your team. I think that game will almost be more important, not necessarily for beating Georgia. I mean, if you can beat them, that would be insane. It'd be incredible. But pulling positives from that one going into the following week against Kentucky. Because the Kentucky is a must-win. Georgia would be an incredible, amazing, awesome to win. Kentucky is a must-win. You have to win that football game. So, yeah, Austin, I think the spread will be probably 24. Honestly, maybe 27. I mean, if Georgia beats Clemson, it might be that high. I know that sounds crazy, but it literally might be that high. Savannah Webster, who would you compare UVA pitcher to that we have faced? I'll be honest with you, Savannah. I'm doing my digging today on UVA. I haven't watched a ton of let me see. I haven't done a ton of digging on this Andrew Abbott kid. It's Andrew Abbott, right? Yeah, Andrew Abbott. I haven't done a ton of digging or watched him. So he is a lefty, southpaw. So he is a southpaw. So, yeah, Andrew Abbott, lefty. Who would I haven't watched him enough to really compare him to someone, but the stats speak for themselves, man. This kid's legit. So, Keith, Kingston does need a recruiting class this year. He needs hitting. No, I totally agree with you, man. I totally agree with you. You got to bring in some big-time hitters. Bottom line. Yep. Have to. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, comments, calls. Guys, before we go any further, I do want to tell you about our friends over at Flex Squad Fitness, because the Daily Crow is presented to you by our friends at Flex Squad Fitness. And CJ Profit, the man behind it all, guys, he's been a certified personal trainer for 10 years. And the reason that he's so good at what he does is because he's literally gone through it himself, guys. He's been there. He's done that. He struggled with his own weight for many years until he eventually lost 85 pounds himself doing the exact same type of training that he currently does at the gym. And guys, at Flex Squad, they do one-on-one and small group training. Their program is a mix of strength, high-intensity interval training, and endurance training. And guys, the goal is to not only help people look great on the outside, but more importantly, make them stronger and more confident on the inside. And guys, again, like I said, he's been there. He's done that. He's gone through the physical grind, the mental grind. He's lost the weight. So he knows exactly what you're going through, and he's going to be there for you every single step of the way, putting together custom workout plans, nutrition plans, everything that you need to be successful. Guys, the place changes people inside and out. You're not going to regret walking the door. You'll probably just wish you did it sooner. And guys, right now, they are offering a free week for anyone who wants to try out their classes, or 2 free one-on-one sessions to see what they're all about. Guys, if you go there right now and tell them Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you, you are going to get your first month free. Again, if you're in Columbia, Chapin, or the state of South Carolina, it's a no-brainer. Head over to Flex Squad Fitness in Chapin, South Carolina. Again, that's Flex Squad Fitness in Chapin, South Carolina. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Let's see. Austin Kane, excited for this quarterback battle, honestly. Are you talking about Doty versus Brown? Is that what you're talking about? John Gibbs says, I'm really anxious to see how Beamer's recruiting will be now that COVID restrictions have been somewhat lifted. I think we will see a boom within the first 2 years. I truly believe he will get the players here shortly. Yeah, I mean, I have full confidence that Shane Beamer is going to recruit his tail off. I do. Savannah Webster, UGA getting Gilbert makes me sick. Yeah, the rich get richer. It's unfortunate to see. Taylor says, I think very, very soon we can see another commit for the 2022 class for Beamer. Yeah, I think that I think that they're going to start rolling, man, with these on-campus visits and stuff like that happening. Taylor says, don't worry, Savannah, they will still stink. Taylor, I hate to burst your bubble. I don't think Georgia's going to stink. I think Georgia's going to be pretty damn good. So, I mean, I hate to say it, but I think Georgia's going to be pretty legit. So. Savannah Webster says, someone is on campus today, right? I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, there's more visits happening, Savannah. So, I mean, I'm sure somebody's on campus. I mean, all right, guys, let's jump to the phone lines here. Phil, what's going on, man?
Chris, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you asking, man. What's up?
You're welcome. Just wanted to jump in here and comment. I know everybody's excited about baseball, so I'm going to be a Debbie Downer for a second and talk about our Carolina basketball team that is a sinking ship. Seventh Woods is transferring. This is going to be his third team in his college career there. This is a guy that Frank Martin couldn't say enough good things about during the season. He actually started him for several games, and everybody was like, what is this guy doing? But I think he had like maybe 1 or 2 good games that he played, and the rest they kind of looked lost out there.
Yeah.
So this is a guy that clearly had the coach's favor, and he's transferring. So what do you think about this? Is this just an indication that this is, the whole house is on fire for Carolina basketball, or you just dismiss it as, transfers happen?
Probably a mix of both. I mean, I definitely think the program's on fire. I think anybody would be, foolish not to think that. I mean, yeah, we've had a lot of guys come in, but we've had a hell ton of them leave. But I think a lot of it probably comes back to, I mean, I'll tell you this. I don't know about you, what you thought about Seventh when we got him. And obviously he was this really highly sought after and thought of prospect when he came out of Hammond and, whatever, right? Went to North Carolina. Obviously you can't be a scrub and go there. But when he transferred to South Carolina, one of my really good buddies played college basketball, and he is a diehard UNC fan, like diehard UNC fan. And he told me, and I mean, again, this is a guy that doesn't have a platform to, he like the Spurs Up show, so he can just say whatever, right? Like he literally texted me, he's like, bro, don't get excited about Seventh Woods. He's a bum. I mean, that's literally what he said. And so, I was like, why do you say that? And he just kind of pointing things out. He's like, dude, he scored 2 points per game. Like, he's a bum. I'm telling you right now, he is a bum. And so I never really, I was excited to get him just because, he's the local guy and whatever. But I never really fully bought into the hype. I was kind of more show me, you know what I mean? Kind of show me before I buy into your stock. And I kind of just saw everything my buddy told me come to fruition this past season. And I mean, I know it was a crazy, wacky season, but Seventh Woods, just I don't know if it's because of he's a prep guy and the guys from Hammond, maybe they're not quite as good as we all think because they don't really play any competition. I mean, that is a theory, but I don't know. Maybe he's just not the player that everybody thought he was going to be. I mean, obviously he only scored 5 points per game last year, and he looked completely lost at times. So, I think, you never know why kids make the decisions they do, right? You never know. Because he was a guy, Frank Martin, I think, said it a couple weeks ago, but I know it was out there. He was a guy that was contemplating, if I don't get picked up to go pro, I'm going to come back. And people were like, what is this guy talking about? And I'm going to put him out there, by the way. I'm going to put this out there. I know he won't mind. Skyland Davis, who tunes into the Daily Crow pretty frequently, big baseball guy, calls in sometimes. One of the funniest moments I've had recently, we were texting back and forth yesterday, and I said, 7th is gone. 7th Woods is gone. He texted me back. He said, where is he going, to work? And I was like, oh, my God. So, I certainly is part of it, the program is on, I think saying it's on uneasy footing is putting it pretty nicely. I think could that be part of it? Could also be part of it that, hey, we're bringing in some young guys who are going to play and you're not going to be quite as much part of the plan as you'd like to be. I think that could be a part of it. It is weird, though. I mean, it is weird because I think this move for 7th Woods, he needs to go lower level school. I mean, he really does. If his goal is to be an everyday player, an everyday starter, and play the amount of minutes he wants and gets the opportunity, hell, he might want to go D2. I mean, I'm not even BSing. And that's not like a disrespect. Hey, if you want to play that much and be a guaranteed starter, that maybe is what he needs to do because it's obvious he's not a Power 5 kind of guy. Like, just from what I can tell. I mean, again, I'm not sitting here pretending like I'm some, basketball savant. I'm not Alex English talking to you about basketball, but just from what we saw last year in his career at UNC, so I'm sure it's a combination of things. But I mean, certainly, Phil, the program being on the, at the point it's at, I call it for what it is. I thought even this, man, going back a couple of days, Brandon Martin, the son of Frank Martin, transferring to South Carolina. I mean, is he going to play? Is he not? Whatever. That's kind of beside the point. But you know what it screams to me? And I hate to be the guy to say this, but it screams to me, hey, if I'm Frank Martin and I think it might be my last year at this school, I might as well enjoy it with my son. I mean, honestly, that's kind of what it says to me because it's not like the kid's really going to play. So, I mean, why else would he be coming to Carolina? I don't know. It's almost I've gotten to the point, man, where I hate talking basketball at this point because there's so much positivity in baseball. There's so much positivity in football. And it's like basketball is like the ugly redheaded stepchild that, like, nobody wants to acknowledge exists. I mean, I hate to say that, but that's kind of the point we're at. So.
Right. Well, I'll turn it over to football for a second before I get out of here. I was talking to my best friend from back home in North Carolina. He grew up a Clemson fan, still a Clemson fan to this day. I always give him crap about it, He actually doesn't really mind Carolina. It's kind of weird. Like, he doesn't really insult me about being a Carolina fan, but I, of course, insult him for being a Clemson fan. But I was talking to him about Carolina's schedule, and we went through it. And he watches more American football than I do, man. Like, I'll watch Carolina games, but that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? Because, we know my thing with rugby, and I think it's far superior to American football, yada, yada. But I went through the schedule with him, and he's like, y'all are going to win 8 games. And there's, like, 3 that he had is, like, 50-50. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, and again, he watches more American football than I do, but he was giving us all kind of wins I would never think that we would win. So I was kind of joking around with him about that. So there are people out there that are not fans of ours, that don't, care if we win or lose, that are looking at our schedule and saying, man, this team could really do some stuff. So I've said that there's no way that we're going to get to 8 wins. But this guy who's not a Carolina fan is looking at the schedule saying, yeah, we could win at least 8. So I thought he was crazy, but that's kind of an interesting perspective that I want to throw out there.
Well, I mean, I'd still say it would be crazy if we did win 8. I'd say it's pretty unlikely. But, I mean, I guess – from the outside perspective, you could, if you wanted to be optimistic or, you could look and say, hey, Tennessee's a dumpster fire. Is Mizzou really all that good? I mean, they're Missouri. Like, it's not like they're some powerhouse. I mean, hey, Auburn's got a first-year head coach. Vandy's going to be a W. Kentucky's still Kentucky, and you got them at home. Like, if you want to spin it that way, then all of a sudden the wins start racking up. But we're Gamecock fans. We kind of know how this thing goes. So we know how this thing goes. Hey, we've seen this movie before, right? I mean, I'm as positive and as excited as I've been for Carolina football probably since 2014 going into that season. But I'm just trying to be realistic about the roster and the issues with depth on the roster. I mean, that's the big thing. And I think Michael Bratton, when we had him on Monday, he actually made a pretty good point in the sense that, everybody's looking at that Florida game as like the big opportunity for the upset. And he did make a good point that, hey, he thought it, he wasn't picking us to win, obviously, but he said it could be Georgia because you think about it. When are South Carolina's depth issues going to get exposed if they do? I mean, obviously our hope is that just nobody gets hurt the entire year. But is that really realistic? Right. It's football, right? Like somebody's going to go down at some point.
Contact sport.
Right. But he made the point of, that game against Georgia. I mean, that's probably the healthiest Carolina's going to be, or one of the healthiest, right? So, I mean, I understand what he's saying there. It's not that we don't have, the secondary obviously has issues, but we have talent in the starting 22. Mm-hmm. The problem is beyond that. You look at great teams like Alabama, and unfortunately, I hate to say Clemson and Georgia and Ohio State. They go 3 deep. I mean, look at our teams from 10 to 13. I think I've told you this before. You realize we were so deep, we had 2 quarterbacks on the poster. Like, we had 2 guys that could beat you, not one. We had running backs on running backs. We had receivers for days. We had defensive linemen for days. Like, it takes that depth, man, because you get to the third, fourth quarter, you have to have those guys. So, I mean, listen, I'm still – I think 5-7 or 6-6 is a safe pick for this team, and I'll lock in my picks in about a month or so in my official record. But that feels like the safe mark. Again, best case scenario, maybe 8-4. And you look at what would have to happen. Luke Doty would have to flourish in Marcus Satterfield's offense. A couple of receivers would have to step up. Amarian Brown's got to be the big-time transfer I think he's going to be. E.J. Jenkins is going to have to be an unguardable force in the red zone. Guys like DeCarrion Joyner are going to have to finally come into their own. Maybe Ortre Smith's finally healthy. Maybe, God forbid, Josh Vann can catch a football. Maybe Xavier Legette can finally make plays. And some of these other young guys, that maybe they can come into their own, and you finally find some consistency on the outside. Nick Muse becomes a weapon. And then defensively, your front seven just causes havoc all year, and some of that young talent in the secondary is a little bit better than we all expected. And you need teams like Tennessee to be as bad as we think they're going to be. You need Mizzou to have an off year. You need maybe Auburn to have an off year. So a lot of things have to happen. I mean, is it impossible? And, oh, by the way, I didn't mention offensively, you need Kevin Harris and Marshawn Lloyd to be, the best running back tandem in the country probably. So, I mean, it's possible, but, man, you're banking on a lot of things to go right for you. You know what I mean? Like, and to think that all of those things are going to hit, is it asking too much? And so for me, I'm just trying to not get my expectations stupidly high. You know what I mean? Like I said, year one, we all want to win. I want to get to a bowl game very, very badly because, hey, when you win, it's a lot easier to recruit when you're winning and at least you're coming off a bowl game. But what's more important than the record for me, man, is, again, just how we play. I talked about the Georgia game today. Forget the score. I just want to see us go out there for 60 minutes and give Georgia hell. I want at the end of the game, no matter what the score is, Georgia's like, hey, we don't want to play them again. Like, they made us earn it. Let's at least make them earn it, because too often with the previous regime, and I know I'm rambling, Phil, but the previous regime, we'd come into it, we'd have some nice wins sprinkled here and there, but we come into a game like Georgia and we just get our shit kicked in. I mean, from the opening snap, wasn't a game. Like, you've seen that against Clemson, right? We can say that the 2018 Carolina Clemson game where Jake Bentley threw for 500 yards, was that competitive, quote unquote? Sure it was. I mean, if you go back and look, was it really? I don't know, whatever. But I mean, most of those games, just complete blowouts. It's just, when you're trying to build a program and make progress, if nothing else in those games, you got to show some life so you can sell to recruits, hey, we're only a couple pieces away. When you lose 48-3 to Texas A&M, you're not a couple of pieces away. You're an entire team away. Like, there's no selling that. Yeah. So, yeah. Absolutely. I don't know. It's going to be a fun season, if nothing else. I'm looking forward to it.
For sure. Me too. I'm just not at the point where I have this delusional hope, like the SEC shorts made fun of last year around Halloween. I'm not there yet, but I'll probably get there at some point. You know,
Yeah.
it's just a Carolina
we've
way,
been
right?
we've been so. I mean, and here's the thing too. It's not on Shane Beamer. It's not on any fan. We've just honestly been so beaten, battered, and bruised of the last 5 years. Like, it's like jumping into a new relationship. Like, forgive us if we set our expectations low to start out. I mean, I think it's understandable.
Absolutely.
I do. So,
yeah,
whatever.
All right, brother. I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, Phil. Thanks so much.
Bye.
All right, bye. Good stuff. 843-790-3377, guys. That's 843-790-3377. Let's see. Justin says, not upset that Woods is leaving, probably for the best. Martin is in ass-saving mode. He's recruiting more shooters, seems to be changing the offense. Hey, you said it. He's in ass-saving mode. That's the best way to put it. Austin Kane says, we all wish for 8. Yeah. Yep. 8. Dude, I will. I don't know what I'll do. we win 8 games. I don't know what I'll do. Brian Dean says, we have a chance to have 2 1,000-yard running backs. I don't even know if we'll have one. I know that sounds crazy, Brian, but I think we're going to split the carries up so much. Maybe one of the guys will hit 1,000. I don't think 2 hit 1,000. I don't think there's any way. Aaron Gibson says Shane wins 8 games and Ray Tanner will give him a 12-year extension with a $60 million buyout. You're probably right. Savannah Webster. All these teams have new coaches, so not impossible. Hey, nothing's impossible. I totally get it, Savannah. I do. I totally do. And that, like I said, guys, that is the beauty of the offseason, right? That's the beauty of the offseason, is that all of our hopes and dreams are still out there. They're all still possible. That's the beauty of it. So, again, my question surrounding Gamecock football and Shane Beamer, which I am loving, which, by the way, Josh Reichley, what's going on? I see you. My question surrounding Gamecock football and the thing I'm most eager to see in this season, guys, is this. Because we've been going through the honeymoon phase. Everything's positive. Everything's great right now. We haven't lost a game. We haven't dropped a pass. We haven't fumbled the football. We haven't thrown a pick. We haven't blown a coverage or an assignment. We haven't done any of those things I just mentioned. So all vibes are high right now, right? We are purely in the honeymoon phase. Shane Beamer's tweeting away, just having a blast. Overall morale of the fan base is extremely high, which is great, and we needed desperately. And guess what? We're going to start this season off, we all think and hope, with some great momentum. 2-0, City's going to be buzzing. Gamecock fans are going to be riding on cloud 9. This is what I want to see. I am most eager to see, how do we respond as a program, as a fan base, and as a football team when we go out week 3 and get our teeth kicked in by Georgia? Because, hey, I'm as optimistic as you, but realistically, even if we play a great game and keep it competitive, we're probably going to lose by 3 touchdowns. So, how do we respond? Again, it's easy to be positive when things are going great. It's easy to be positive whenever, you haven't done anything bad. You haven't thrown a pick. You haven't done this. You haven't done that. How do we respond? That's what it's all about, responding to adversity. Anybody can be positive when things are going great. How do you respond to adversity? Do you pick yourself up the right way? Do you respond the right way? That's almost what makes Kentucky even more important. We've talked about it's the most important game, the key game, and there's differing opinions. And again, I'll lock in my official, what is my key game, most important game in a month or so. But that Kentucky game's big. Let's jump back to the phone lines real quick. Hey, Justin, what's up, man?
Not much. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you asking, man. What's going on?
Yeah. Hey, Chris, I made my 2 predictions today. You want to hear them?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Chris, I got soccer, Georgia, Florida. What do you thoughts about those 2 teams?
Hold on. You got South Carolina doing what now? Say that one more time.
I got soccer, Georgia, Florida.
Or Florida? Or you got them both or just one of the 2?
I got both of them.
South Carolina beating both of them. My friend, that would be an insane feat, and I'll sign up for that right now.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, listen, I think Florida definitely sets up as the game where you look at the schedule and the most favorable for an upset, the most conducive to a big upset in year one of Beamer. Where it falls on the schedule, Florida will be coming off the world's largest outdoor cocktail party, taking on Georgia. And I think Florida will take a step back this year. And, South going to be coming off a bye week. So at home, you've played Florida tough. I think it's certainly possible. The Georgia game, man, listen, I understand we played Georgia close before and all that, but I just think Georgia's on a mission this year. They're arguably the most talented team in the country. I mean, you saw they just added 2 more guys yesterday. For us to go in there to Athens at night and beat them would probably be the biggest upset of the year in college football, if you want to be totally honest. So if we beat both Georgia and Florida this season, again, Shane Beamer should get a lifetime contract. Bottom line. There's no other way to put it, because that would be an insane feat, my friend. So, hey, from your lips to God's ears, Justin, from your lips to God's ears, let's make it happen.
Oh yeah. Hey Chris, my other thing is, Chris, we gotta stop being Clemson again.
Yeah, I would love to start beating Clemson again. Listen, I'd love to start beating Clemson again. Realistically, man, I think it's going to be 2 or 3 years. I mean, I just simply think you have to build up this roster. You have to. You got to go get good players, man. I mean, we can talk about Shane Beamer and coaches. Coaches don't play the game. Players do. So if Clemson's got a team full of 5 stars and we got a team full of 3 stars, I'm sorry, but more likely than not, Clemson's going to win the football game. And we can talk. I understand stars aren't everything, but on that same token, on that same note, fans live and die by recruiting. So you tell me. I mean, is recruiting not important? I'd say it's pretty important. So, you got to go get those players. That's why Shane Beamer was hired to build this thing back. I mean, hey, Shane Beamer made the comment when he got hired. When you get hired in the SEC, it's not because things are going great. It's just something needed to change. So I say be patient, man. Give it a few years. I mean, listen, you want me to be totally honest? Clemson's probably going to beat your ass again this year. They probably are. Just call it for what it is. They probably are. But that's okay. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Just play the right way. Like I said, same thing with the Georgia game. Georgia's probably going to whoop your ass too. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, Justin, on your prediction, but I'm setting realistic expectations, man. You've got to build the roster up. Hey, there are no Jadeveon Clowneys on this roster. There are no Marcus Lattimores, although we could argue, I guess, Kevin Harris, maybe Marshawn Lloyd could be that guy. But there are no Alshon Jeffries. There are no Devontae Hollimans. There are no Stephon Gilmores. You got to go get those guys, right? So because those are the type of guys that Georgia has, that Clemson has, that Alabama has. You got to go get those guys. That's what it comes down to. And are you going to recruit at the level like Clemson and Georgia are recruiting right now, where they're top 5 every year? At least right now, no, you're not. So you better be doing a damn good job of evaluating and developing talent that you have on your roster. So I would just say be patient. It's going to take a few years, man. Bottom line, it's going to take a few years. If I think by years 3, 4, 5, that's when I really want to start to see South kind of upsetting 1 or 2 or 3 of these teams every season. But in this first year, man, this first year is literally about just laying the groundwork and establishing the foundation. That is what year 1 is all about for Shane Beamer.
Oh yeah, I agree, Chris. Hey, Chris, and think about the Clemson game. Listen, look, I don't see Clemson slow down anytime soon. Do you, Chris?
No, I don't. The way I know we all hope that happens. Trust me, but the way that they're recruiting right now, and here's the thing. They play in a conference until Florida State or Miami or Virginia Tech, until one of these teams steps up and challenges them, who's going to do so? I mean, honestly, the biggest thing is this. You need someone to step up and beat Clemson in the ACC. That's the problem, And again, you hope it's FSU. You hope it's maybe Miami, one of these teams that will step up and do it, but nobody's done it. Maybe God forbid Notre Dame ever join the conference, but nobody has done it to this point. So, as long as that's the case and they can just roll through the ACC and pull their starters in the third quarter, no, I don't see them falling off anytime soon at all, unfortunately. So.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Chris, I agree with you. Hey, Chris, that's the thing with Alabama, too. And like you said, somebody beats them, too,
Well, but here's the thing. I think at least if nothing else, in the SEC, Bama has some competition. Okay. They have some competition. And I guess, somebody points out, North Carolina, UNC could be that team with Sam Howell and what Mac Brown's building and all that. But, it just feels like Clemson's just blowing everybody out in the ACC, man. It just, So, but that's the big thing. For Clemson to start falling off, they got to get beat a couple of times. They got to get beat. Once that happens, you start convincing kids to come to your school instead. Hey, look, we beat Clemson. You can come here and beat them. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you take down the evil empire. That's how you do it. So.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Chris, also, you got to look at Oklahoma, too, because Oklahoma is a famous Jersey,
I mean, yeah, for sure. No, yeah, for sure. I mean, the Big 12 is not exactly, a powerhouse or anything. So, no, yeah, I mean, like I said, man, just looking at South Carolina this year, that's the beauty of the offseason. We can dream and talk about, potential upsets and this, that, and the other, whatever. But just lay the groundwork, man. Lay the foundation year one. If you can get to 6-6, get to a bowl game, that would be a fantastic season and something you can sell to recruits. And that's the goal out of year one, I think.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. Hey, Chris, you got hope. Things go your way if you're a South Carolina. You got hope. Maybe Auburn falls off, or Missouri, or Kentucky,
Yeah, well, I mean, I can tell you this, man. Everybody's trying to win. Everybody's trying to get better. So, I think South, kind of what you need to do is just focus on you, get the best 25 players you can get every year in recruiting, take care of your business in the building, and then let those on-field results handle themselves. That's what you got to do. And, hey, definitely, listen, you got to start winning football games. That's the thing. I love the Beamer hire. I love Coach Beamer. And like I said, fans need to be patient. But at the end of the day, guess what? If you don't win football games, you won't have a job. He knows that. We know that. It's a results-oriented business. You got to go win. At some point, you got to go win. So, but you got to build. You got to build and get the guys on campus to help you do that. So.
Oh yeah, you got to because you want to get back to being. You want to be prepared for winning championships.
I mean, that's the goal, man. I'd love to get a ring someday. I'd love to watch South kind of hoist that trophy one day. So.
Yep. Hey Chris. Well, wish me luck tomorrow.
What you got going on tomorrow?
Well, we're going out of town. Well, taking my nephew and niece to Disney World.
Gotcha. Well, have a good time, Justin. Have a good time. Seriously, enjoy it.
Oh, thanks, man.
So, all right, brother. Hey, I appreciate the call as always, man. Take care. Like I said, enjoy yourself down at old the happiest place on earth.
Oh, thank you, man.
All right, brother. Take care.
You too.
Great stuff. 843-790-3377, guys. Just a couple of minutes left. Here on a Wednesday. I was about to say Thursday. You believe that? I was about to say Thursday. What in the world? Let's see. Got a couple of comments I missed. Tanner Land says, bottom line, Beamer has 5 years to get it done. Tanner, when you say get it done, what do you mean? I'm curious. What do you mean by get it done? Savannah says a step back for UF is only like 3 losses. Yeah. Taylor, Georgia's not a mountain. Many people, including myself, forget we lost to Georgia 24-10 when they won the national or went to the national championship. I mean, Taylor, I get what you're saying, man, but Georgia's pretty damn good. Let's just call it for what it is. Jaden says if we beat both Georgia and Florida, our chances of winning the East would skyrocket. Yeah, no kidding. Justin says having Georgia that early will be fresh. I say they will win by 10. Will had a better depth. We have a better coach. This goes around, and we have some players. Justin, if we lose by 10 to Georgia, I will be doing cartwheels, my friend. Taylor says, I understand your realistic expectations. My mindset going into Georgia and Clemson is that we will win no matter how bad. Well, Taylor, I respect that. Listen, as a fan, I'll tell you guys this. Listen, I make predictions. And I'm very realistic because here's the thing, guys. I'll ask you guys this honestly in closing. Would you tune into me? If I just was like, predict us to win every game? I mean, you wouldn't be able to take me seriously, right? You're like, oh, he's just a garnet glasses homer. Like, he's not going to give us a real opinion. So, but I'll tell you this. When I wake up on Saturdays and I go to Williams-Brice, there is always that small piece of Gamecock optimism in me that says, you know what? If this happens and this happens, we could shock the world today. I mean, it's just – every Gamecock fan has that. Trust me, I have that. But you got to be realistic, man. You just have to. Key says UGA choke. They do every year. That's why they haven't won it all since Herschel. Probably lose week 1 in Charlotte. I hope they beat Clemson's ass, though. Brian Dean, we have a chance to start 3-0 this year. Man, I hope we beat Georgia. I'd love that. Trust me, I'd love that. I'd love that. Brian Dean says Georgia does have Moose Dump now. He may bring them bad luck. That is a very good point. They do have the curse of Muschamp on their coaching. So, hey, if nothing else, let's just throw for like 2,000 yards on his defense, just as an FU to Will Muschamp. Tanner Lynn says, okay, get us back to 9+ wins, 5 years. That's fair. Tanner, that's very fair. That's very fair. I agree with you, actually, 100%. All right, guys, going to go and wrap it up. It's 1 o'clock. Appreciate you all tuning in. Quick reminder, if you have not done so, check out the podcast that dropped this morning, episode 456, breaking down the 4 seed in the Columbia Regional, the Jacksonville Dolphins, as well as our 2021 opponent preview series, rolling on today with the Georgia Bulldogs, as I mentioned earlier. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Appreciate y'all tuning in and appreciate the love and support for the content, rocking with everything we do. Take care. Have a great rest of your day, and we will